Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Go.
All right, welcome to what is the clickbait episode, because that's what top 10s are. They're just clickbait. Because I know when I see a top 10, I'm always clicking that bait. This is Jerry with the Board Game Snobs, and with me is...
Gabby. Hey, what's up?
All right. This is a podcast that's sort of kind of like talking about board games, but also occasionally we get random and talk about other things. But this podcast, this particular episode...
On a very special episode.
Is a very special episode. Our 51st or 52nd episode, I can't recall.
I think it's...
50,
I don't know.
It's
51, 52.
We completely forgot that our 50th episode was shot, and we did it. And
It's just a number.
It's just a number. Hey, we're up to almost 1,000 Instagram followers.
Hey, the other day we were like shy by one.
Yeah.
What are we at now?
I don't know. I don't really know.
You don't know?
It's just a number. Oh, this is my Kenichi. What
That's
was
your
that?
Kenichi.
What was I just drinking?
Glenlivet.
Glenlivet. That was
So
nice.
you're mixing scotch and rum.
I didn't mean to mix it. Well, you gave me this Glenlivet to try it, and I actually really like it. But you're saying the stuff that you got from, is it the Smoky Islands? Was it called the Islay?
Islay? Isla?
It's Isla.
Isla?
It's not Islay. That's how it's spelled, but it's pronounced something different.
Islay? I don't know, but it's smoky from peat moss or something.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. Lagavulin.
Lagavulin?
It's the same stuff Ron Swanson drinks.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We like Ron Swanson.
Of course.
We like Glenlivet, too.
It's all good. Don't be mixing them up too much.
I'm not.
You'll be
I'm good.
falling out of your chair.
No, I'm good. This is a special episode.
These are our top 10. Hey,
Top-
everybody.
Before we get going, I'm going to gripe about top 10s. Number one.
Go ahead. All
I
right.
think I'm going to hate on them. Top 10s are
Shocker.
fine, but what I have noticed is that a lot of people's top 10s stay the same.
They're stagnant.
They're shallow and they're stagnant, and there's a lot of
Shallow? What does that mean?
Shallow.
Like Lady Gaga? Bradley Cooper? In the shallow.
I haven't watched that show. Don't spoil it for me.
Spoiler alert. Well, never mind. I won't say. I do know how it ends. It's an old movie. You
don't-
know that, right? Like Barbara Streisand.
It takes me a while. Is that who it's about?
It's not about Barbara Streisand, but she was in the one. There may have been one from the, like the 30s.
She was dead.
Barbara Streisand? No, she ain't dead.
You sure?
No,
Okay.
Barbara's not dead. Don't kill Babs.
I'm not. I was just worried about that real fast. I'm just worried.
This is like the third remake.
No. Man.
A Star is Born. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Top 10s are just remakes. People just remake and do their same thing over and over, moving things around. And if you're really salty, you do a top 100, which in my opinion is pointless. That is just the top 80 games that you don't hardly play and the top 20 that you occasionally play.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I agree.
I think that our top 10 are actually games that we thoroughly enjoy, we play, and that we appreciate. And so last year we did a top 10, about February of last year, and people
Yeah, we're a few months diff.
people seem to enjoy it. Well, why not? We'll
Top
do
10, oh, yeah.
another one.
We need clicks.
We need clicks. That's what
we need.
This
them
is
clicks.
this is our click. Oh, well, follow us on the Facebooks. Follow us on the friends book.
On the friends
book. Facebook.
I'll
the
be there
Instagram.
for you.
No, just do the Instagram. Really, the Instagram's where it's at. The Facebook.
Did you ever watch Friends?
Who was your favorite?
Come on.
Tell me. Tell me.
Well, honestly, Joey. He always cracked me up.
No. Oh,
He always cracked.
that's cheap.
Well, then Chandler was always like, he was just like
I
the
didn't like
super
Chandler. I
sarcastic
like Ross. I'm Ross all the way.
one. No,
Like Ross all the way.
is so.
He was endearing yet annoying.
No.
How you doing?
Could you be any more sarcastic?
That's
That
all
was
Joey
Chandler.
did. How you doing?
That's all you need to do. It's
all he did.
hilarious.
That's hilarious. What is he doing now? Nothing.
I think he's got like an HBO show or
What's
something.
he doing?
What's he doing? Hey.
Nothing. Oh, man. No.
Friends or Seinfeld?
Seinfeld, absolutely.
I agree.
Don't even throw that
I'm
out
just
there.
checking. Just
Okay.
making
You
sure.
don't have, there's no need to check. Fan mail. Do you want to read the first fan mail? You go ahead and read the
Yes,
first
I will.
fan.
Okay, so we posted our Vikings podcast in which we showed our ignorance yet again, which is pretty much our whole show of Viking history, lore, paraphernalia. This is from a Board Game Diner, a.k.a. Giuseppe. I guess it's actually backwards. Giuseppe, a.k.a. Board Game Diner. He said, Dear BGS team, long-time listener, first-time caller. After listening to episode 48, I felt compelled to drop a Viking knowledge bomb on Jarl in order to correct some misnorsemers. Yeah.
I'm overflowed
Appreciate
with puns.
that. Please feel free to share this list with all of your listeners as we are doing now. He has 5 items on here. The first Viking fact. The Vikings were from Scandinavia. Now, duly noted that we didn't check these facts. We're just going to take your word for it, Giuseppe.
No, we're not fact checking.
we
We're
don't
not
check
fact
facts.
checking anybody.
Whatever someone tells us, that becomes fact.
We assume it to be true. This is why we don't do any news.
The Vikings... This just in, aliens have landed.
From our sources, we hear that this is true.
The Vikings were from Scandinavia, an area of northern Europe that includes Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. These countries, along with Finland and Iceland, are often referred to as the Nordic countries. Fact 2. As you mentioned, the Vikings likely didn't call themselves Vikings. The way we use the term today to refer to both a people and a culture developed from exaggerated 19th century romanticism on the subject. While they were called different names by different people, the term Norsemen, literally the men from the north, was very common. Fact 3. The Vikings were great navigators and sailed not only throughout Europe, but also to Africa and the Middle East. Oh. They also famously sailed to North America 500 years before Columbus. I believe we mentioned that in our podcast.
We did. We spot on.
The Vikings established settlements throughout Western Europe, many of which are major cities today. The French region of Normandy, meaning Northman, started out as a Viking settlement. Number 4, the state of Minnesota was heavily populated by immigrants from Scandinavian countries. Did you know that?
Knew that.
This cultural heritage was reflected in the naming of their football team, the Minnesota Norsemen. Just kidding. I added that. Vikings. Or Purple People Eaters.
That's a great
You ever
song.
heard that?
I've heard the song.
Huh?
That's a song, isn't it?
I don't know. That's what they used to call them back when they were good.
No. What do they call them now?
Vikings.
Teletubbies?
Yeah, because they're not any good. Number 5, and the final fact. Oh, there is a bonus fact home. Number 5, besides the many Viking-themed games, Vikings have been extremely important to the history of board games. The Viking settlement of Iceland inspired Klaus Tuber to create Catan.
Wow.
Did you know that, Jerry?
I did not know that.
Is it true? Who knows? But Giuseppe says it is.
I like the fact
So-
that Vikings brought us board games somehow.
I mean, Catan is the OG. Would you say Catan is often considered the father of modern board gaming, correct?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Not to mention that the modern-day Vikings of IKEA have built all the great Kallax shelves for us to store our ever-growing collections.
We have 2 to adore here.
So we appreciate that very much.
I love their meatballs. And the hot dogs that are not actual to size. I have the IKEA bags, is which I carry my games in.
I don't think you're supposed to have those.
No,
I think you have stolen
no,
those.
you pay a dollar.
You have plundered the IKEA bags.
which would be appropriate.
These are mine.
Have you ever been to IKEA?
Yes.
Well, you buy those bags in the line for like $1 a piece.
Oh, you buy them?
You can buy them.
Okay.
Or
I
if
thought
you fit
just-
them into...
I thought you just stole them.
No, that's not.
Bonus fact from Giuseppe: there are no Raiders anywhere in California. The only Raiders are the Las Vegas Raiders. That's true. They're supposed to move from like L.A. It's supposed to move from L.A. to Las
I
Vegas.
don't know football.
Giuseppe
Hockey.
says you're 7th fan, Giuseppe. Giuseppe, I don't know if you know this, but you're like, okay, Captain Croc is probably our number 1 because he chimed in when he wanted our game.
He ghosted on us,
and
though.
then he's ghosted us. So I would actually put Giuseppe at our number 2. But that doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
Nobody's a fan of number 2. Okay, we'll make you number 3. How's that? Thanks for writing in, Giuseppe. Anybody else want to write in and correct our wrongs? Which Jerry often says things incorrectly, like when he was calling Kirk Douglas, Michael Douglas throughout his whole thing on
It doesn't
Vikings
matter. Nobody
and
cares.
Spartak. Oh, they do care. Rice-A-Roni?
Oh, the
yeah.
Rice-A-Roni
Well,
the Rice-A-Roni scandal of 2019.
They will let you know.
People in San Francisco got more problems than Rice-A-Roni.
All right, what you got?
Mr. Soul Train sent you an email because I
Sent me an email?
He sent you an email.
Oh.
Because of all the comments I made about your weight and that I was worried that you're going to die.
Why do you have me on death's bed?
Because you your cholesterol level and your fatty liver and your lack of mobility.
I've been trying to move.
You've been doing well. You've been losing weight.
I've walked upwards of 30 steps today.
Well, you've been doing well. He sent you a very nice email talking about how he used to be quite large and that how he went on the keto diet and his wife and helped him.
Keto's legit.
It's nice.
I've tried it. I've done
and
it.
Miss Soul Train, who is also hashtag Team Kevin Costner by proxy is halftime Jerry.
Well,
Team Jerry. Anyways, and plus he's lost a lot of weight over the years, and he sent a very nice. He even included pictures of himself, and it looks like he's wearing a Pac-Man suit, which I didn't know was a thing.
Wait,
he's
what?
wearing that suit. That's a Pac-Man. That's a Pac-Man.
Let me see. What are you talking about?
That's Pac-Man. That is Pac-Man.
I see what you got.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that's on his Insta.
Yes, he says, take it from one classic guy to another. It's tough, but doable. I have faith in you. Losing weight is slightly harder than Raiders of the North Sea, but definitely nowhere near as tricky as Zulkin. I love you guys in the podcast and really do value your weekly words of wisdom, class, and hilarity. We got one right.
Which one?
I don't know. I'll leave it up to you.
We'll leave it to the listener to decide.
Yes.
Oh, Soul Train, thanks. I will lose weight or die trying.
That's exactly. Oh, yeah.
Hopefully the former.
Because like I have said previously, if you die, this podcast is over. I can't edit. I don't know Audacity. I don't know all the dad jokes.
So is that the extent of it? If you do find someone that knows Audacity, you continue on?
We're done. We're done.
Continue
That's
on.
why I'm slowly. Have you noticed I've been slowly interviewing
You're like
people?
Enrique, so why don't you download Audacity and learn it?
Slowly introducing people. Bubba, I noticed you got a lot of clicks. Oh, everybody knows I can't replace you.
Thanks.
Oh, I
Appreciate
love you
that.
to death.
Oh.
You're like my second favorite fan.
Appreciate that. Wait, what? Fan?
All right, top 10 friends. Let's go. Number 1.
Oh, you don't want to hear this list.
All right, no, let's get on to our top 10. This is important because this list is probably the most well-curated top 10 list on the internet and all of board gaming, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, let's go. You got your list, Gobby?
Yes.
I have wrote down ones that...
I have last year's along with this year's.
Okay, so I'll start us off with mine. I've also wrote down games that I think will be on your list.
Okay, I've not done that.
Well, no, because I know you so very well.
You know me, I don't know.
I know you very well. You don't know me. All right, my number 10. Last year, my number 10, I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk about what was last year briefly. Number 10 was Shogun. I love Shogun because of the order system. When you're placing cards, you have to think ahead to fulfill the orders. Plus the little tower, the little cube tower that you drop your cubes in for combat. I think that's very inventive. But Shogun has showed its age. And matter of fact,
that was your number 10 last year.
It was my number 10 last year.
Okay.
It has fallen completely off my list.
Well, one spot.
You don't know where it's at. I don't do class number 10. I don't rank it. My number 10 this year is Barony.
Oh.
I love Barony. Barony was last year my number 3.
Wow.
It dropped to number 10. Why? Because
We haven't played it.
We haven't played it that much, but 2, it's there has been some games that have
games
just
coming
moved up.
Okay.
Moved up in my book. So a lot of games shifted upwards. Barony shifted downwards, but Barony stayed on my list, which is not a lot that I can say for some games, because some games fell completely off.
Barony, the game of Sarah, Abraham's wife.
What? No.
She was barren.
You're just taking that way too far. That's
I
just...
think I said that something similar last time.
You said that similar.
I was just like, that's a callback.
Are we recycling jokes now?
I got to. I'm out. I'm out, baby.
After the 50th episode, we're syndicated and we can just do reruns. Tell the same old joke.
I'm in reruns
Well,
now.
let me get my list of animal groupings back out. Give me a second. Let me pull that up.
Yeah.
Barony. It's so simple and so easy to learn, and it scales from 2 to 4 players very easily.
Scales very well.
And it is a simple rule set, a lot of strategy. That's all I'm going to say. Barony's my number 10.
I would say most of our games, that's one of the key things to them. Simple rule set, but yet within that, lots of strategy.
Man, I love Kenichi.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Barony, my number 10. Sir Gabi.
Barony, who made that game? Who produces it?
The guy.
Where is it sold?
It's sold in your local stores everywhere. And the guy who did Splendor, who cursed us with Splendor.
Mark Andre.
Andre. Yeah, he did it.
That's right.
All right. Last year, fun fact, your number 10 was Barony.
Yes.
And your number 10 now, sir.
My number 10 now is new to the list, new to the year.
What?
And I'm not just putting this because we just played it.
I'm about to throw some hate at you. Go ahead.
But I had this at my number 10 previously.
Whatever.
Brass Birmingham.
Brass Birmingham is your number 10.
Yes.
That we just played.
Yes.
That I just beat you at.
Yes.
You like Brass Birmingham so much it is now your number 10.
It is now my number 10.
I had that on the list, as you see here. I know you very well.
That makes about our fourth play of
Your
Brass.
fourth play of Brass.
Whatever.
I'm an old school Brass player.
Well, you played Lancashire.
I played the OG.
So in Lancashire, it's the ports, and this one, it's the beer. That's pretty much the difference.
Pretty much.
Yeah. The wild cards is slightly different.
Brass is so good, especially this Roxley version that was redone.
It's
with
beautiful.
Beautiful.
The board
art.
is beautiful. It's just okay. So as we replayed, I watched Rodney as I forgot how to play Brass because it's been a while. So I rewatched Rodney. Okay, I didn't pay attention to all the details. But as we are playing,
I did pay attention to all the rules.
As we are playing, I said, you know what this game kind of needs is a separate track for the money. Like, just have it off to the side. Like, this is your money track. Oh, no, this is your point track. And Jerry's like, oh, no, I understand why they did it this way. Me and Jerry were racking up the money. The reason we were racking up the money, like $30, $40 every turn, is because we were playing it wrong. We were using the actual victory point track and not looking at the money track. As I literally had just said, these need to be two separate tracks. It could be confusing. Jerry's like, no, I got this.
I blame Kenichi. I wondered why we got to the end of the canal era and thought, man.
Yeah, we got to the end of the canal era. We're like, man, me and Jerry,
we had to start over. We started over.
Last time I was taking out loans and this and that. I'm like, man, we are rolling this time. We have really mastered this game. Oh, wait, we're playing it incredibly wrong.
Yeah.
Plus, I forgot that your level 1 buildings disappear after the first stage.
But Brass is a beautiful game. Love Brass. I like Lancashire over Birmingham just slightly.
Really?
Just slightly. And I said minutely.
I like Birmingham better.
Well, there we go.
It's crunchy. You have to think ahead. And even at the end, I thought ahead, like 4 steps, but I'm not good at thinking ahead.
But the scoring on this game is still very tight.
It's still tight, even though I didn't get what I needed to do. I had established something way up north and didn't have no way to ship it.
That happens.
Shipping is if you don't have your shipping lines, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. Your number 10.
My number 10,
Brass. My number 9. Last year.
Did I say what my last year was?
Yes, I did. I said it was Barony.
Oh, yeah.
My number 9 last year was Chinatown. Chinatown got a reprint, people. Chinatown's still a good game.
It's good.
Love Chinatown.
For
Unfortunately,
you,
nobody will
it.
play it with me because it's a negotiation game. So last year, Chinatown was my number 9. It has completely fallen off my list, not due to my own fault, but because people simply will not play it with me. My number 9 this year, upon looking at my list, is my favorite bidding game, Modern Art. Love Modern Art. Modern Art is a Reiner Knizia game, a recent edition done by Simon. It's readily available. Beautiful artwork that the game begins with you having to get you having a handful of cards and then starting auctions with those cards. And there's several types of auctions. There's the blind bidding auction. There's just the open auction like you normally have. There's the one-time bid auction that goes around the table. There's just all these different types of auctions that happen with these cards, but the cards initially have no value. The cards are representations of paintings. The paintings have no value. At the end of the round, you figure out which artist sold the most paintings, and then their prices go up. It's very difficult when you first learn the game to understand what's taking place, but once you get it, and it's beautiful. And it's one of those one of the strategies in modern art. It's just hard. It's just hard to understand what you need to do to win. And it is the best bidding game I've ever played.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Is that a rap?
Yes.
Is that I'm glad you brought that up. Here the other day, I was driving and I had turned on the radio and was listening to various varieties of music, and I like that things are said in.
You describe stuff so old.
I like that things.
I was listening to various varieties of music.
I like that in rap music that they'll say phrases that are puns, and so this one guy said, and I quote, "I smell like success, Elon Musk." And that is a pun because Elon Musk is very successful and Musk is a smell. That was very inventive.
Eminem does lots of puns, and they're very good.
I haven't listened to him.
Well, you can't listen with your children. That's the main thing.
Modern art, my number 9. Your number 9. Do you want me announcing your number 9?
I don't care.
Your number 9 last year was Anachrony. Fun fact, which is Enrique's number 1. Anachrony, which is, go ahead. What's your number 9 now?
Okay, let me ask you this about your list real quick.
Yes.
Do you have any games from the last year on your list?
Very, very few.
Well, that doesn't really answer my question, so at least one.
Well, Barony was on my list last year. So there's
It
one.
wasn't. No, I'm talking about like new games.
Oh, I've got...
Like from 2018.
I have no new games from
No
2018.
new games. So Brass, technically a new game.
Not Nick, no.
So
2008.
you're counting it?
It's 2008.
But Brass Birmingham.
It's 2018. Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay.
Because technicalities.
Okay, so my number 9, Anachrony, was my last year. This year, I kind of went a different route than you, but similar. High Society.
We did both bidding games in number 9?
Yes, we did.
Not,
So,
another
Reiner
Knizia.
Knizia, yet again.
Yes.
But this is like the quick, super fast version of modern art.
It is.
It's got these big fancy cards, tarot-sized, and you bid on them. Come around. It's the bidding game. Everybody knows how to bid. I love this bidding game. It's quick. It's fast. I can actually
Quick and
win
fast
at
are
this.
same thing. Synonyms.
It's quick. It's fast. It's zippy.
Zippy. Quick, fast, and zippy.
It's probably it's like the only quote unquote filler.
I will support
30
you.
minutes or
I will
less.
support you in not modern art,
High Society.
but high society, because high society, modern art. Let me put it this way: modern art is for those who really like bidding games. High society should be owned by everybody, absolutely straight across the board. It replaces for sale. It replaces a lot of filler games. It is an excellent game, and it's OG.
It is OG. It had a reprint last year. We played it. And it's a game like bidding games just in general, they tend towards the excitement. Like you're excited, you don't know what the other person's going to do, you don't know who's going to get it. It's just it's I don't know the word natural. It lends itself to natural excitement in the game.
I like how you avoided the word elegant and went with something that nobody else does. Natural. I like that. It's very natural.
Bidding, it creates that. It's going to happen. And this game, every time I play it, everybody's super into it. We're all laughing and hollering, and it's awesome. And it's just a quick, simple game. High Society.
I approve this. This message is approved by
thank
me.
you. I appreciate that.
My number 8.
Am I looking for your approval?
You are deep down. You are deep down. Everybody needs it. Number 8 last year for me was Gates of Loyang. Gates of Loyang is not on my list this year. It fell off. Gates of Loyang has an excellent solo to it. By the way, it is one of the only UA Rosenberg games I like. It is a great Euro. It just got edged out because we don't get to play it that often. It scales very well. Gates of Loyang, and it's readily available still, by the way. Very nice. My number 8 last year. My number 8 this year fell from number 5 last year. Viticulture.
How dare you?
I like viticulture.
How dare you?
The only reason that it has been edged out...
Because I beat you the last game we played?
You did beat me the last game, and you beat...
That's why it fell.
Well, no.
It's not that great.
No, I actually made this list a month ago before that.
Oh, yeah.
It may have fallen off completely now. I'll start examining it. I don't like some of the card randomness. That's about it. Rest of it, I love the Tuscany expansion. I think Viticulture is probably one of the better board games made within the last few years. It's a Stonemaier game, beautiful production, worker placement, where you're planting grapes and making wine and fulfilling orders, and it's just a nice, clean experience.
Scales well.
What's your favorite wine?
Actually, I had a blend last night. My wife likes the dry. She likes the Merlots, the Cabernet Sauvignon. And I prefer...
You joked on that.
I prefer like a white Zinfandel.
Are you a 16-year-old girl?
Like a dessert. I like a dessert wine.
You like cake.
Yes, a rosé.
I like Riesling too, so I can't be joking. All right, well, sir, last year, your number 8 was one of my favorites, not on my list, Gold West.
Yes.
Gold West, which also just had a reprint, which is also... Amazing. Probably another one of those quintessential games that should be in everybody's collection.
Which we discussed in our last podcast.
True. Go ahead, sir.
Which is apparently coming out with a roll and write version.
We don't know that. We heard that on the street.
It was on the Tasty Minstrel Instagram.
And that doesn't mean anything. You can't trust Instagram. If it's not on CNN or Twitter or Facebook, I don't trust it. Instagram is just nothing but pictures.
So... my number 8 this year is a game we have not played in a while, but it still tickles my brain.
Tell me what tickles your brain.
Mombasa.
Was that on your list last year? It was on your list last year.
It was a little bit higher.
You
like one step higher.
I approve this message.
It was number 7 last year. It's number 8 this year. I would say simply because we have not had a chance to play. And I asked Jerry this just a moment ago, just before we turned the mics on. It's hard not to have games recently played influence a list.
True.
Because we just played Brass. It was awesome. Fortunately, I had made my list some time ago. I loved Brass. I was like, man, that's a good game. I could put it above High Society. But then if I think about it, High Society, I love. It's so fun. Brass, I mean, it's just kind of new. We're kind of playing it. So, okay, it's number 10. But Mombasa, we haven't played it in a good long while.
Good long while. I like that it's
a good long while. Is there a bad long while?
Yeah, there is.
What is that?
I haven't seen you in a bad long while.
Why would it be bad?
I was longing to see you, and it was a bad time during that time. I haven't seen you in a bad long while.
Okay, well then I haven't played Gold
or a bad short time.
Mombasa in a bad long while.
I like Mombasa. It is better than Great Western Trail.
We don't like Great Western Trail. Everybody talks about this expansion that makes it so amazing. We have not played the expansion because we don't like the base game. Alexander Pfister come out with Oh My Goods.
It's all right.
It's okay. Blackout Hong Kong. We haven't played it, but it doesn't look appealing. And we've heard. Shut Up and Sit Down says, if you want. Well, of course, they're Great Western Trail fans. We prefer Mombasa. So Mombasa is my number 8. There's lots of stuff. It's got that stock track. You've got decisions to make with those cards. I love that card play. You play those cards. You choose which one you're going to use for next time. And you have to build up one of those card stacks on your tableau for next time that you really want to use. And it's reminiscent of, well, I should say Newton is reminiscent of Mombasa. And I love that card play. It's very simple. But as we said, within that simple mechanic or mechanism, there's lots of strategy.
Mombasa's a slightly hippier Euro game, though. But it's still a great game. I love Mombasa. Not on my list, though. not on my list.
Of course.
My number 7
We
last.
don't have any crossover.
My number
I've
7.
said Brass, High Society, Mombasa.
Okay. My number 7 last year was Forbidden Stars.
Oh my God.
I haven't played Forbidden Stars.
Well, does that game still exist?
No, it was out of print. It's still out of print. It will always be out of print. Forbidden Stars is the 40K game. I'm not a 40K player. I don't know nothing about 40K. But Forbidden Stars.
That means 40,000.
Yeah. Forbidden Stars was the area control game that is lots of spaceships and really mean. There's no negotiation. It's all about fighting. I really got into it for a while, and I want to play it again. It's probably in my top 20. But my number 7 now is completely different. A game that we had so much fun playing. Every time I've played this game, no matter who I've played it with, I love it to death.
Uno.
Lords of Vegas. Close. Love Lords of Vegas. Lords of Vegas is just one of those games that when you set it out to play, you know you're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
You're drawing properties.
Drawing.
And then you're building casinos on it, and you're trying to take over other people's casinos. And the best part of that game is the fact that you can gamble at another player's casino.
And that's the part that kills me every time.
That's the part, because Gabi can't contain himself. So our games of Lords of Vegas are basically us trying to convince Gabi to come to our casino and gamble his money away so that we can use that money to build infrastructure.
I'm just glad that real life gambling and lottery tickets and stuff are a part of my life that I don't do.
Because you're terrible.
Because if I did, we would be destitute. We would not have a microphone to record on or a computer. Me and my wife would be living on the streets. Because I thought I had a chance.
I'm an old poker player, though. I love
poker is different to me. Poker, there's actually skill. And there's percentages.
There's percentages. But there's also percentages in dice.
Yeah,
I know it seems, and I know it means sarcastic. It might seem sarcastic, but it is still, there are some statistics to it. I love Lords of Vegas. It's one of the funnest board games I think we own in terms of just...
Funnest. Let me see if that's a word.
Funnest. It's a Mayfair game. It's not something...
It's a Mayfair game.
Yeah, okay. I don't really like them, but I love Lords of Vegas. Love Lords of Vegas.
Anything correct? It's the funnest Mayfair game.
Hey, why are you making fun of my lisp?
We don't say these words.
I'm done with you. Lords of Vegas, my number 7. Last year, Mr. Guybees.
Funnest a word, let's see.
Number 7 was Mombasa.
It depends on whether you think fun is an adjective. Interesting.
Fun is an adjective.
Okay. Well,
it's agreed upon. Last year, Gobby's number 7 was Mombasa. So
it moved up a little bit?
Yeah, it moved down.
Yes.
So what is your number 7 now, sir?
My number 7 has already been mentioned by yourself. Barony.
I knew it. Barony was your number 10 last year. So Barony's gone up in your book.
Barony's gone up.
Why? Why?
Because
it went down in my book, it went up in your book. Did you win it? Did you basically beat me in it?
I recently had a victory.
My recent victory has propelled this game forward.
No, I've been looking at my list.
That's nice. That's always appropriate.
And this is what we have talked about, is that there's not that many games recently that we are just crazy about.
No, not within the past few years. There have been some decent games that have come out. There's been some
decent games.
But nothing that has blown us away.
So we have played, to me, my top 10, I have had some moving about and some have fell off due to just simply lack of play. Like I've played them once. I hate to put them back on there because we haven't played them again. I like them a lot, but I would have to go with games that I've played several times. I have played Barony several times. I have played it in the last year several times. It's good, like you said, from 2 to 4. We don't have the expansion. I don't necessarily want the expansion. It is so freaking good in its simplicity, but yet, exactly what are you going to do with these different moves that you are allowed every turn? It has gone up because there's not that many games coming into my top 10. As far as games from 2018, 17, A Godfather, we loved it. It didn't make my list. I would say Brass is probably our favorite from last year. There was like Everdell, Root, all that stuff. But we didn't like it as much as Brass. So Brass is my newest. It's at number 10. Everything else I've played before, and I may have changed my opinion on some. Yokohama is not on my list, but it continues to climb. I love Yokohama. It was very closely on my list this year, but it's not.
Very true.
But Barony, number whatever.
7. My number 6 last year is a game that has completely fallen off my list. Number 6, don't hate me for it, Cosmic Encounter.
Oh my. Why would I hate you for that? Just because it's a terrible game?
It's not a terrible game. It's an activity that has some game elements to it.
It's party.
It is a party game.
It's a party.
It's a gamer's party game. It's stupid fun. I think everybody should play Cosmic Encounter at least once to see if it's something that is enjoyable to them. Cosmic has really, I have every single expansion to it. I love busting it out every once in a while, but it's just a game that has completely fallen off my list.
When was the last time you played it?
It's been 2 years.
I think that affects it. I mean, it honestly has to. If you haven't played a game in 2 years, how endearing to you is it?
Do you know what killed it, though, was DJ. Playing it with DJ and DJ going, so basically...
Oh, so DJ killed it, not me.
No, not you.
How dare you?
Not you. DJ kept saying, so, like, you just keep playing these cards and saying, this card beats this
That's
card and this card.
That's all I ever said.
I know, but, like, you say stuff sometimes it doesn't make any sense. DJ tends to be level-headed.
Well,
and
sorry.
DJ says something. DJ, does everybody know DJ? We've never had him on the podcast. We've had Enrique. We've had Bubba. DJ's our other guy that comes in and plays and offers some
It's
insight.
because DJ doesn't share our passion.
He doesn't have the passion.
He's good to come in a game or two, and then he will leave. No matter how involved we are. He's like, yeah, I got to go.
I'm done with it.
I'm done.
But DJ, so Cosmic was my number 6 back in the day. This other game now, number 6, is a game that DJ loves. And DJ's good at it. And he has beat me at it.
Okay.
And it is Godfather.
Oh, okay.
Godfather was my number 4 last year. It's fallen to number 6, not because it's not a great game. It's just that we don't play it that often.
Don't play it.
Godfather, a worker placement.
And part of that is...
Now, we've played it a lot here lately.
We have played it, but it's gaming is difficult, especially board gaming, especially if you're trying to like have a podcast.
Cry me a river. Gaming is difficult.
Cry me up. Something Ukraine.
What?
Crimea River.
Crimea. No, they got annexed by Russia. Don't bring that up too soon. Go ahead. Don't you watch geopolitical news?
I was trying to make a joke.
We have friends. We probably have listeners in Crimea.
My Crimea friends.
Does Russia allow
my Crimea
us?
friends? Crimea River.
Does Russia block us, I wonder?
Oh, yeah.
No.
These fools. We'll never listen to them.
No, they don't block.
This is Russia.
Stop that.
I got that from 2012, the movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now that guy's Russian accent.
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
I don't know if he was Russian or not.
The only thing about 2012, the movie, I watched that movie. I didn't watch it in 2012. I watched it in like 2016. But the fact that, poor, what's his name? What's the main actor in it?
Cusack?
John Cusack was like, yeah, I'll be in this show. I ain't got nothing else going on. I'll be in this show.
It's either this or what's that movie?
The best idea they have to say humanity.
A geophore?
We could just make arcs. We could make these big cruise ships that everybody will survive on.
Who's the guy we love so much? He was in that Netflix movie with Kevin Costner, The Highwaymen.
Oh, Woody Nelson?
Woody
Woody Nelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Oh, Woody Harrelson.
Woody Nelson.
If Willie Nelson and Woody Harrelson had a baby.
Woody Nelson.
My number 6 is Godfather. I love The Godfather. It's a
very
great
good.
game.
Super take that.
It is the only...
As a mafia game,
it's the only what's his name game I like. It is the only
Eric
Lang game I like.
And come on, I have noticed Tom Vassell
Who
has been saying "come on"
Who's Tom Vassell
instead of "Simon," which me and Jerry have been all about "come on" in the first place.
Maybe he listens.
I don't know. Maybe he's listening.
Tom, if you listen to
Tom,
this,
you're listening.
Your top 100. I don't know you.
We're ignoring all of the
I've
top
never
80.
watched your top 100.
You will lie.
But I will say
Don't
this.
lie.
The first
He got you into gaming just as he got me into gaming.
the first 90 are worthless. Go ahead. Wow.
Okay.
I'm out of Kenichi.
Okay. So, my number 6
Go ahead.
last year was Royals.
It was. And a great entry-level next step game, by the way.
Well, I guess I've advanced beyond that because Royals isn't even on my list this
But I
year.
like Royals. Go ahead.
I do love Royals.
I love
We
you too.
recently, we will recommend Royals
We could do
anytime,
Royals.
anywhere to anybody.
Anybody.
My number 6 this year, Anachrony.
I had that on your list. Let me exit off here.
So it moved from number 9 to number 6.
So it's
I will say this, and I don't know.
Enrique's number 1. Did that affect you?
Enrique's number
The one time he played
after Enrique's top 5, we replayed Anachrony.
we had to replay everything after Enrique's top 5.
Like, what is life?
Who are you?
I will say this for my list.
Say it.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now. Here soon.
There you go.
Presently, hence unto forth, nevertheless. I may be preferable. No, that's not the right words. I may be, what's it when you like favorable? It's like I lean towards. Prefer? No. Okay, whatever.
Lean towards.
Anachrony has a solo.
Yes,
And after playing it with everybody, I was like, that's still a good game.
it is.
I soloed that rascal.
You did?
Several times.
How many times?
Like 4.
Okay.
I made it one of my challenges on my BGG app, which you hate. You're like, oh, so we got to play this game just because you made a challenge to play it 5 more times?
Check your challenges. I'm going to start challenging you to do things
So-
such as calisthenics.
I've
Maybe that's how I'll hook you. I challenge you
if you can make
to
a game.
20 push-ups.
I liked it. It's good. It has a good solo. And I like playing a game because it's difficult to get together. So I love a game that has a solo version.
As do I.
So Anachrony has a solo version, and it is very interesting. It's very good. I played it several times. Therefore, the more I played it, the more I liked it. Anachrony, another one of those games where it's simple in concept. There's a lot going on gameplay wise as far as story and this and that. But you have one action. Where you're going to put your mech, and what's that going to do when you put that mech there? Done.
But you have to consider which worker you put in said mech.
That's true as well.
And are you waterboarding your worker? It looks like either you're giving them water so that they're refreshed, or you're waterboarding them to get them to work. I haven't figured that out.
Where's the transmitter?
Oh, I love
Anachrony.
Anachrony. You're number 6.
I had played Anachrony. I think I posted that on our beat.
You did.
Was that Instagram? I was like, added it to the Blake.
Also, the first
Blade
game I've
Runner
ever
music?
painted. I love Anachrony. And
You painted those minis, and it looks great.
I'm painting Star Wars Imperial Salt right
We
now.
need to paint. You painted Fenris.
Yeah, we need to play side.
Rise of Fenris. Why is everything Rise of these days?
Things are going up.
what about gold? Is it going up?
No, it's pretty static right now.
What about Kmart stock? Is it going up?
Most indices are static right now.
Most what?
Indices.
What's that?
It's like gold, and
Indices?
I believe that's.
What are you saying?
I think that's the correct term. I'm pretty sure.
I've never heard
Never
that.
heard of indices?
I've never heard of stochastic neither, so that doesn't mean anything. But you have a big vocabulary.
What do you mean by indices? They're indexes. An index is an indicator or measure of something. Indices, in terms of stocks, are like.
So you're
things
saying plural, all of the indexes.
I think we're stagnant right now. But don't quote me on that, because this is not the podcast for stock advice. This is the
Interesting.
podcast for board gaming. And we're going to have to come to a close, because next week we're going to have our 5 through...
I got you 10 through 6. We're not going to finish it this podcast.
No, we're going to stop, because we need to recollect.
I need a burger.
Who? What?
I
Yeah.
mean, I need a salad.
A salad. Yes. Keep sending Gubby encouraging emails and challenging him. That's the next thing. Challenge him to do things such as sit-ups.
I was reading a Soul Train's email as you were talking.
Yes.
And he did say inspirational quotes. Trust me, there's enough inspirational quotes on the internet. I appreciate the thought, but I don't need that. What I need is practical advice.
Your practical advice is simply
Okay, now I will say this. Let me say this.
say it.
I will say this, and let me say this.
I'm letting you. Here I am
I'll appreciate that.
Approved.
I'm a truck driver.
You are?
It's very difficult for me to plan for what I can eat on the road.
No, it's not. Go ahead.
So if you can think of snack ideas on the keto diet that I can prepare, take on the road with me, send those to me.
My first suggestion, and I'll start.
I don't want this. I don't want this.
Would be
and don't just say take a steak with me and just gnaw on it.
eat breakfast before you leave the house, rather than making your.
But I leave the house at 4:00 in the
Well,
morning.
then make your breakfast at midnight and put it in the icebox.
What do you want me to make for breakfast?
Poached egg. Eat you
Oh
some
my
poached
God,
eggs.
Shut up.
All right.
Nobody
This
eats
is
poached
Jerry
eggs.
with the Board Game Snobs. Like us on the Instagram and the friend posts.
What are you talking about?
And the Twitter. I
friend
don't do social media.
Friend posts.
Friend posts.
Acknowledge us.
One of these days, friend post will be a thing.
Okay.
Acknowledge us on the friend post.
This is Gabi. Thanks
Share
for
us
listening.
on
Next
the Twitter.
week, our top 5 through 1 top 10 games
Probably
of the
the best
BGS.
games you've ever heard of.
I know that's right.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.